Hey y'all, it's Cowgirl Sierra, and I'm going to be reading A Weird Stalker. Okay. Once upon a time, Charlotte, Rebecca, Lindsay, Olivia, Eamon, and Leah were living in a tiny apartment together. They saw a strange-looking man following them home one night. They were coming home from a bar, so they took a different route home. Rebecca was driving around town trying to lose the man, but he wouldn't back off. So Rebecca pulled over. Charlotte asked Rebecca why she pulled over and why she didn't call the police. "'Cause they won't come," Rebecca replied in her British accent. "Okay, whatever," Charlotte whispered. The man drove past their car and pulled off the road up a little further. He got out and started walking to their car. Eamon, Lindsay, Olivia, and Leah were freaking out. But Rebecca and Charlotte were not freaked out. But as the man got to the window, Rebecca and Charlotte started getting scared. The man tapped on the window and Rebecca lowered it. "Excuse me. Why are you getting away from me?" the man creepily said. Rebecca didn't respond. She just rolled up her window and drove away. The man started running to his car, but they were hiding in the forest where he couldn't find them. When the man was out of sight, Rebecca pulled out of the hiding spot and headed for their apartment. When she pulled in the driveway, they all got out and ran to the front door. Eamon pulled out her key and unlocked the door. They all ran inside and locked the door. They all sat down on the couch and discussed what just happened. They were all freaked out. A few minutes later, there was a knock on the door. None of them dared to answer because they knew exactly who it was, the man from earlier. Lindsay grabbed a gun from a closet that was in their living room. She loaded it and walked to the door. "What do you want?" Lindsay asked. "I want you," the man replied. "I won't let you get me or the other girls," Lindsay aggressively said. "Let me in," the man said. "If I let you in, you will die," Lindsay said. You ain't got a gun," the man said. "Yes, I do. I have my .30-06, Lindsay replied. "Show me," the man said. "Okay," Lindsay said. She aimed her gun and opened the door. The man held his hands in the air and backed away. He started running back to his car. Lindsay shot him in the back, but she missed. He got in his car and drove off. Lindsay shot at his tire, but she missed again. Lindsay closed the door and put the gun back in the closet. Soon they all went to bed. Olivia was listening to one of her favorite podcasts on Spotify while reading a book before bed. Olivia eventually went to bed after about an hour of reading. Soon it was morning. Rebecca, Charlotte, Eamon, and Leah were already downstairs enjoying their morning coffee. Olivia and Lindsay were still in bed, but they would be getting up very shortly. Olivia and Lindsay were walking down the stairs when they heard creepy organ music coming from the basement. So they went into the living room to ask Rebecca, Charlotte, Eamon, and Leah if they heard the music. "Hey, do y'all hear that organ music?" Olivia asked. "Yeah, it's coming from the basement," Rebecca replied. They sat down and listened. Soon they all jumped in the car and drove to a friend's house. Their friends' names were Vanessa, Sakara, Christina, Lisa, Jaylene, and Helen. So all the girls decided to catch a bus to another town. Luckily, Charlotte, Rebecca, Leah, Eamon, Lindsay, and Olivia packed some of their clothes and other things with them. So Vanessa, Sakara, Christina, Lisa, Jaylene, and Helen packed their bags and walked to the bus station. "Hey girls, watch out for a creepy man that was stalking us yesterday," Rebecca reminded them. "A man was stalking you yesterday? Vanessa asked. "Yeah, it was a creepy old man. He tried to come into the apartment, but Lindsay had a gun. She shot at him, but she missed. She shot at his car, but she missed the shot again," Rebecca replied. "Wow," Vanessa mouthed. Soon a bus stopped at the bus stop. Vanessa, Sakara, Christina, Lisa, Jaylene, Helen, Charlotte, Rebecca, Olivia, Leah, Eamon, and Lindsay hopped in the bus and the bus drove off. On the bus they saw more friends. These friends' names were Amanda, Miranda, Cheyenne, Alinea, Elisa, Zoe, Haley, Griselda, Angela, and Annie. They all met up and got off the bus at a local restaurant. Everyone was so surprised to see each other. After they all ate, all of them went back to Vanessa's house via bus. When they got back to Vanessa's house, they saw another friend's car sitting in the driveway. Their names were Sally, Danielle, and Ashley. After they found out who the car belonged to, they all went inside. Vanessa, Sakara, Christina, Lisa, Jaylene, Helen, Charlotte, Rebecca, Leah, Olivia, Lindsay, Eamon, Sally, Ashley, and Danielle were tired, so they all went to bed. Olivia did the same thing she did as the night before. She listened to one of her favorite podcasts on Spotify and read a book for about an hour. While she was reading her book, she thought she could hear floorboards creaking from down the hall. She didn't pay attention to it until it got closer to her room. When the creaking stopped right in front of When the creaking stopped right in front of her bedroom door, she froze. She didn't know what to do. She turned off Spotify and put her book and phone on her desk. Soon the creaking continued back down the hall, so Olivia went to sleep. She figured out it was just one of the other girls trying to scare her, but when morning came and she asked all of them about it, they had no clue what she was talking about. When Olivia made a horrible realization that someone else could have been in the house with them, she sat on the couch in shock. She figured it was just house noises after a while. Soon they all went out to McDonald's for breakfast. When they were inside ordering their food, Sally saw a man sitting at a back table. She soon realized that it was the Stalker. Sally told the other girls to look, but they didn't believe her until they went to a table to sit down and enjoy their breakfast. They all had a good view of the Stalker until he got up and left, or so they thought he left. He was stalking them from behind, but soon he left, so the girls went back to the house after they finished eating. When they got back to the house, they saw the Stalker's car sitting in the driveway, but he was nowhere to be found. So Sakara, Vanessa, Christina, Lisa, Jaylene, Helen, Charlotte, Rebecca, Olivia, Leah, Eamon, Lindsay, Amanda, Miranda, Cheyenne, Alinea, Elisa, Zoe, Haley, Griselda, Angela, Annie, Sally, Ashley, and Danielle went inside the house and were never seen again. The end. So that is where the story ends, and I hope y'all enjoyed it, and Cowgirl Sierra is out.